We seem to have more and more evidence that oral health is connected to brain health. For a number of years, we've had some associations come out between periodontal health and heart disease. And ultimately, I think we're still in the correlation, not causation phase. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Send me an article or two, and we'll talk about it here. But this particular article from the Journal of Evidence-Based Dental Practice this month, I guess last month, just about a week ago, came out and is a meta-analysis and systematic review of periodontitis and dementia. So let's do a little summary, and then we will go through the article, talk about some strengths and weaknesses, see what you think. So researchers analyzed data from multiple studies, found that people with periodontitis were more likely to develop dementia. And the numbers weren't just, one or two times. It was people with severe periodontal disease had a 7 times higher risk of Alzheimer's and a 3 times higher risk of cognitive impairment. So what's going on here? The exact mechanism is not yet fully understood. We think there could be something to do with the bacteria involved, and there could be something to do with the chronic inflammation. So basically, periodontal disease being a chronic inflammation of the mouth and the gums, and it's a very vascular area. So chronic inflammation there could have repercussions throughout the body potentially, and this one in particular is focusing on what is going on in the brain. What they did was a comprehensive meta-analysis. They looked at 24 different studies, 13 case-controlled and 11 cohort. If you're familiar with study design and the hierarchy, this does kind of strengthen the reliability of their findings. They included both odds ratios and hazard ratios, so that provides a bit more nuanced understanding of risk assessment. And they looked at the differentiation between types or severity of periodontal disease from mild, moderate to severe. There were also some weaknesses. So since it's a meta-analysis, you're relying on the quality of each of the articles selected. So out of the 12,000 studies they retrieved, they only selected 24. You hope that those 24 are all of very high quality, but there are other confounding factors: age, smoking, diabetes status, socioeconomic status, and general health behaviors, healthy or not healthy. And without digging into each of those studies specifically, we don't know what that looks like. We also have the classic causation versus correlation. So this study finds a strong association, but is not able to establish causality. And that kind of leads to, in the conclusion, where they're recommending the possibility of treating periodontal disease having an impact on lowering risk for Alzheimer's. It's a big maybe, it's a big if. Because we don't know that back and forth causality piece, we don't know if it will have an impact at this point. As I mentioned, there could be variability in study designs. So they had some good diagnostic criteria for what studies they selected, but that doesn't mean that we have a good mix of very high quality studies. There's limited data for the mild to moderate periodontal disease. And so why is that? Would not long-term, mild or moderate, still have a chronic inflammatory effect that could be deleterious to the brain health if it is inflammation? And finally, it's relying on observational data. The case control and cohort studies, you really can't fully eliminate bias from that. And they don't have any randomized controlled trials in their mix. That would be difficult to do, but that would make it a lot stronger. So don't be surprised if you start to see some advertising out there talking about how taking care of your gums isn't just about your teeth. It could also protect your brain. All right, for this Science Saturday, we did a quick review of an article, a very recent article on gum disease and brain health. If you want to know more, tune in on Saturdays to come. We will be looking at more research, and at certain points we may dig into some more specifics about methods and methodology and how results are interpreted and bias and all that good stuff. So stay tuned. See you tomorrow.